Welcome to DasGeek. Today we're going to be talking about encryption. We're going to show you how to encrypt individual files and directories. Really easy, really simple, utilizing Linux. Now, a lot of times in Linux distributions, you automatically have your entire operating system encrypted. Most installs have it checked by default. Some you just have to check a box that you want the encryption. Also in Mac OS, there's encryption by default on the OS. And in Windows, if you have the Pro versions, I believe it's just the Pro versions, you get BitLocker encryption, which I'm not a big fan of, but at least it's some type of encryption going across your operating system. But what happens when you need to move things to the cloud? A lot of cloud providers offering lots of great storage options. It's a safety backup for a lot of people. You got family photos, you have private documents, taxes, those type of things. Maybe you want to store all of those files in the cloud, but that's really dangerous because we've seen so many instances where people's credentials have been hacked and individuals have gotten into their cloud accounts and been able to get photos, private photos, very embarrassing things, or take other documents that have your information, very private information on them that you wouldn't necessarily want shared. Now, as a general rule, I would recommend trying to avoid as much as possible putting anything private out there on the cloud. However, one of the things that you can do to make that a more secure transaction, if you still need to do it because of space and of course having those backups in case something happens, then you want to use encryption. And what encryption does is basically scrambles that file. So today, if you go into your directory and open a picture, it's immediately gonna open that picture. But if you were to encrypt that picture and then try to open it, it's going to open it in a text doc with a bunch of scrambled stuff that makes no sense. It doesn't make sense to the person who's viewing it. It doesn't make sense to anything. So the way to decrypt that is to use a decryption password, and then all of a sudden you can see that photo and everything's fine. So that's the whole purpose of encryption, very high level. And decryption is basically scramble that file so that even if somebody got into your cloud account, downloaded everything, all they're going to have is a bunch of gibberish. And so what we're going to show you today is two tools that you can use to encrypt your files. One I think is easier than the other, but you could use either one you want. There's lots of switches and a lot more advanced things, but we're going to show you the easy, simple way. And if you're doing this, you're going to be leagues ahead of anybody else who's not using any encryption at all. So let's get right into it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is grab this image2.png. This happens to be a mock-up actually for a potential Wendy shirt. Wendy's a member of Tux Digital Network, on Linux Out Loud, Hardware Addicts podcast, hates RGB. So this is perfect. We don't want this mock-up to get out into the public. First thing we're going to do is check the manual pages by using man GPG. GPG is the command we're going to use for our encryption here. Depending on the version of GPG that you're using, it's either going to have AES 128 or 256 by default. If you've updated your system and on something modern like Fedora, you're going to have the version that has the 256 by default. But just keep in mind, you can also tell it what encryption method that you want to use. We're going to use the symmetric encryption method here, which is the TAC-C. And you also have lots of other things like signing packages and stuff you can do with GPG. But right now, we're just going to use it to encrypt a local file and then be able to upload that safely into a cloud location. So the first command we're going to do to encrypt a file is GPG and then the TAC-C and then the name of the file. So as soon as we hit enter in there, it's going to ask us for a passphrase. So you can enter a good complex password here that of course you could store in Bitwarden, a very trusted password manager. And once we do that, you're going to have a new file that's created, image2.png.gpg. So that's the encrypted one, but it keeps the original file here with GPG. So keep that in mind. So you're going to want to get rid of that original file. You can delete that, move it to trash, delete your trash. And now all you have is this encrypted version of the file. So nobody else can see this. And if you want to decrypt it, you can just do GPG. You don't have to do the TAC decrypt. GPG and the name of the file. Make sure you have that .gpg at the end if you kept the original file, so it knows what you're doing. And then you can see that AES 256, and we did the passphrase, it's unencrypted, and it gives us our file back there, unencrypted. So that's how simple it is. We have that encrypted version, you set the passphrase, then you can decrypt it very easily there, just typing the GPG command and the name of the file with the .gpg at the end. So the next thing that we're going to want to do here is reset the local cache that I want to show you, because if you notice when we unencrypted that file, it didn't ask us for a passphrase. So if we use this GPG tac connect tac agent reload agent /by, I know it's a lot, just pause the video, write that command down. That's going to reset the cache, because basically it stores the password, the passphrase that you used for a couple of hours once you initially type it in, assuming that obviously you're the person working with the files there. But you can reset that cache, and you see when we did that and then we tried to decrypt the file again, it asked us for that passphrase. So just keep in mind you have a few hours of cache storage there that is going to store that password initially. Now, if you uploaded that encrypted file up to the cloud and downloaded it back, keep in mind after you reboot your computer and things, it's not going to have that password there. So you're going to need somewhere safe to keep that password. Now, what if we want to encrypt directories? Well, if you try to do a folder, it's going to ask you for the passphrase that you want to set to encrypt it. We're doing the TAC-C, the symmetric encryption, but it's going to fail. It's going to give you a failure on that directory there. Now, if we zip that file first, you're going to see that it's going to go through. So if you have a bulk bunch of photos and things that you're wanting to encrypt, put them in the folder, zip that folder up, and then you can encrypt that entire folder, put that up into the cloud. It's going to save you space as well. And then you can also reset the cache on that, as I'm showing here, and then decrypt that file when you download it, and you'll have that zip file that you unzip and got all your folders and family photos or whatever you want right then and there. Now, if you type the wrong password, you can see that we're going to get a bad session key failure. So you know what to expect if you don't have the right password in there. And of course, once we type the right password, it's going to decrypt that file for us to get into. But just so you know, if you don't remember that passphrase, that's the kind of error that you're going to get if you see that. So GPG is very powerful, very simple to use, but something that's going to absolutely keep your data very, very safe there. All right, so the next tool I want to show you is CC Encrypt. I love this because the syntax is so simple. You just type CC Encrypt in the actual file name, which is image2.png, put in your password, and boom, it's encrypted. One of my favorite parts here is notice that the original file is gone. You don't have to go and remember to move it to the trash. If we go in here, you can see the image2.png CPT. So it's adding that CPT at the end of it. We want to decrypt it. Again, very easy syntax. CC decrypt in the name of the image. Type your password in again, and notice it asks for your password each time. You don't have to reset the cache, and boom, we have our file back. This is what makes CC Encrypt perfect if you're just looking to encrypt files. GPG is great if you're needing to sign files and other things. AES 256, for example, by default, it automatically deletes the file. It's just much easier for encryption. Now, if we try to do a folder like we did with GPG, you're going to run into the same limitations. You can't encrypt a directory. So what we're going to do here is zip that folder up. Of course, we already have a zipped version of it, and then encrypt it. And it's going to encrypt that directory and all of the contents inside. So then you could upload that to the cloud. And then when you download it and you decrypt it with the CC decrypt, then all you're going to see is, of course, all of your files and directories inside, just as you would expect. Again, I love the syntax with this. If encryption is your only goal, definitely recommend using this instead of GPG, although GPG has a lot of powerful features you'll maybe use later on. Now, the next thing you want to do is check out other switches and commands like the file preview tool with CCAT. What this does, we're creating a simple text.txt file. This is going to allow us to preview the text in a file without having to decrypt it. It's another really cool tool, because one of the issues that if you decrypt it, then you've got to re-encrypt it, and that takes time and maybe you'll forget. But if you're just needing to look at the contents inside that text file, if we use the CCAT text.txt.cpt, we put in our encryption key so it's still secure. It's going to give us that preview. This is a test to show how to use CCAT. And then last, I wanted to show you CC Guess. This is one that attempts to guess your password if you forget your password, but it's not very efficient. There are many other password hackers and crackers out there that work better than this. For instance, it asks for approximately what you think your password was. In this case, I made the password. In the first instance, I only gave it pass, and it took forever, eventually killed the process. If I give it all of them but the D on the end, then it's able to break it pretty quick. But otherwise, it takes a really long time to break very simple passwords. So again, it's not the most efficient password guessing tool was just something to be aware of that's also available to you. Also, never use password as your password. I was just doing that to show you how weak this password guessing tool really is. If you were to run this again through other programs made for cracking passwords, it would be able to crack password very, very quickly, especially if you're giving it hints like pass in there. So if you want to make complex passwords, check out Bitwarden. Go to bitwarden.com/tux. They are sponsor of the entire network. It really is the greatest password manager out there on the planet. You can get started for free, but their premium account's like $10 a year. It's well worth it. You have it on your mobile devices. You have it on your computer. You can even use it in the terminal. And here, when you're doing your encryption, you can create really complex passwords or passphrases that would be impossible for even the most sophisticated programs to crack there, which is why I really recommend using something like Bitwarden so you don't have to try to memorize all those passwords. And don't forget them when you download them from the cloud later on. So those are two very powerful tools for you to utilize for encryption, to get started in encryption. And if you're utilizing either of those tools, even in their basic syntax form, you're going to be much more secure than if you're not to use it at all, especially if you're using cloud services. I think over the past few years, we've seen nothing but instances of people having their cloud services get compromised and hacked, whether that's through phishing or issues with the actual provider themselves that's hosting your files. So encrypting them and then uploading them is going to be much more secure for you and keep your files much more safe. So whether you're using GPG or CC Encrypt, both are very awesome options for you to utilize in your security profile. So I want to thank all of my amazing patrons out there for your continued support out there. Obviously, everything is changing, and I've had more outfit changes just in this video than Britney Spears. And a lot of that is because I'm moving and there's just a lot of chaos and things going on. So I appreciate so much all of the continued support, even with these videos not being as frequent as I like. But there will be a very special video coming out in the next couple of weeks that I've been working on for a while as a collaboration. So you want to make sure you tune in, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, because we got some really great content still coming your way. And for all of those out there that are tuning in for the first time, this channel covers everything in technology, passion for technology, security, privacy, all of those things. So if that interests you, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And until next time, get out there and fill your brains.